Hi everybody, my name is Tobiah and I am doing a tutorial on frequency therapy, how to use Nikola Tesla coil energy, how to use this quantum scalar energy to allow your body to signal itself to turn on and begin to heal. So I just want to show you here. Here's my studio where I do my therapy, and be seeing this throughout the video. Here's my coils that I use. Here's a Rodin coil. I'll teach you about that. And my interface for my computer that I'm actually on right now for our scans that we do. And before I get into all of that, we're going to go through a lot of stuff here. So I hope you guys are ready and enjoy. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is a voltage meter. Now, a voltage meter can tell you if there's a signal coming through a circuit, and your body has, it's an antenna, it's has minerals in it, and it has the ability to have voltage go through it. And your body carries, like an antenna, frequencies. And so let's watch this little thing online here to show you guys what I'm talking about.
Hey everyone, so I'm showing you about grounding and being grounded to the earth. This is a voltage meter. What this is you have a negative, and it is linked to the wall on the negative of a outlet here. So if you take this and you unplug it, I have a wire running to the bottom of this prong. The third prong is the negative, well, it's to the negative, but it's the ground. And you have the positive. So this is a voltage meter, and if I hold this, you will see back here the number goes to 0.1. If I walk toward electricity, which is this speaker on, it goes to 0.6. We have about 3 volts of energy going through our body. But as you walk next to currency, and I'm not even touching that speaker, it goes up. If I take this and let go, 0.1, 0.5, 0.1. If I walk away, holding it, it's at 0.4, 0.5. I walk away, it goes down to 0.1. If I walk close, I gotta be close, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. So what does that say? Well, we use shoes that have rubber on the bottom. So if lightning was to hit us, it would blow out our ears because we're not grounded to the earth. That's why Native Americans used to wear leather on the bottom of their feet, because it would ground them to the earth. If you take your shoes off, you walk in the grass, or you walk at the beach, all the electricity goes through you and to the ground. So when we have rubber shoes, rubber soles on, and we walk around things all day long, the television, our mobile phones, all these things, we're being bombarded by negative radiation, which is free radical radiation that vibrates our cells and can't leave us. So that's part of what we do with EMF, rather than take the harmful EMF,
All right, so that's our first understanding of what EMF, electromagnetic frequency, is. Now you'd have to put yourself in a Faraday cage, which blocks out all radiation if you were electromagnetic sensitive, to get rid of every frequency. But what we can do is we can begin to entrain your body into healthy frequencies with Orgone energy. So entraining is like if you had a tuning fork. A tuning fork is, just looks like a fork, and you hit it, and it'll go bing. And if you bring in another fork You don't even have to hit it. It will turn on because of the frequency of this, the other fork turning on the other fork. It's called entraining. And so you can entrain your body with healthy frequencies through Orgone energy. What is Orgone energy? Well, this is a pyramid. And if you put metal shavings in the bottom of this, metal shavings, it acts like an antenna. All of the free radical radiation, the bad, this is like an EMF protector. You've heard of EMF protectors. All of this EMF is going to come, and it's going to come to the bottom, and then it's going to come through this shape. It's a structured shape, and it wraps around it. You take a copper wire and you wrap it around a quartz crystal, and a quartz can vibrate up to the speed of light. And quartz, because it's structured, right? It's got a terminated face on that quartz as it vibrates. Not just that, quartz, it's called the piezoelectric effect. When you squeeze quartz, it becomes energized. If you take two quartzes and you slam them together, that impact actually sparks the quartz in the dark. You could do that. And but if you wrap that wire around and then you encase it in resin, so there's resin in here. This is actually the resin of the inside of this pyramid. It will suck the energy through the pyramid, and then you put a little copper or metal shavings in the top, and it will vortex the water, or whirlpool the water, just like a magnet. If you have a magnet and you put two magnets together, there is magnetic energy, is vortex energy. Although there's no magnets in this, this is what's called scalar field. The field is called a scalar field, and this is what happens. And I'm going to show you. If you were to put this in your freezer and you put this glass with water in it at the top of underneath this Orgone pyramid, the water will begin to shoot up into the air in the scalar field. And I'm going to show you that here. All right, so we're going to go to my pictures. And so this is an ice tray that I had underneath this cup. And that's my ice tray. See that? See how water doesn't normally stalactite up into the air. It likes to go downwards. And not just that, but without the scalar field, water will cloud up. So this actually begins to structure the water and vortex it up into the air. Now, that's an ice tray, but what if you took a lot of water? And I'm going to show you what happens here. Actually, here's some pictures of the glass that I just showed you. Structure, you'll see just like a regular water here, and it starts to crack up into like snowflake water, and what will happen is this.
You see it? You see it?
Now I'm going to stop it here. So at the top here, let me see, I'm showing you this here in the video. Good. I'm going to go back to that. Up to 3. Sorry, what am I showing you? Go back here, so I know what I'm doing. Okay. So if you can see at the top, there's a bump. And you're like, well, okay, is it stalactiting up in the air? Well, there's so much water here, you can actually see the bottom of this glass. Do you see that shape? That is a circle. And what you're seeing at the top is the top of that circle, and what you're seeing at the bottom is the bottom of that circle. Because that pyramid was placed at the bottom, it's structuring that water into a ball. And a ball is a shape that has every shape in it. You can see triangles, you can see hexagons, you can see this square, red, blue, yellow, there's a square in it. All shapes can come in the form of a circle. And especially snowflakes, right? Stars, snowflakes are stars. So let me bring you guys back here and help you guys understand what I'm talking about. So water, structuring water. We're talking about water here. There's water in food. You could place that in a freezer, and that scalar energy is going over into the food, in the water in your food. It can also affect your body. Now this is a analog, like an analog guitar, and then you can have an electric guitar. If you ran just dirty energy into this, a negative and a positive from the wall outlet, you can actually amplify just by shooting energy into this field by like 30 feet. And my friend had one of those. It's an Orgone pyramid with the voltage going through it. He put it in his garden, and his garden, once the seed went to the plant, which was arugula, he's like, Tobias, you should try my arugula. And I was like, okay, sounds good, because I wanted to try it since this Orgone pyramid was next to it. He's like, but watch out you don't eat the whole leaf. Now usually in arugula you put like a bunch of leaves in your salad, but I'm like, don't have a whole leaf. He's like, here, have a little piece of the leaf because it's hot. And I put it on my tongue and it was like a habanero. And that was because of the water in the ground sucking up. That's how trees get water, through this scalar field, and the energy that this field gets can actually strengthen or weaken a plant based on if you have this Orgone energy involved. Now, like if you have rock and roll music and you play rock and roll music to a plant, it will die because it's bad radiation, it's bad frequencies. If you play good music, like they say orchestral music, the frequencies in that are healthy and they can actually strengthen a plant. So let's go a little deeper into this now. Let me show you some videos here of frequencies. Well, let me show you this first. So this is a frequency plate. If you take a cable, an auxiliary cable that goes from like your headphones in your phone or a stereo, you plug it into this and hear a beep, that's a tone. Now, tones can be, there's a bunch of tones, but you can run a healthy tone, and I'll tell you about those healthy tones in a bit, but you run it to this plate, it's called a frequency plate, and put water on top. You can charge the water or imprint the water with healthy frequencies. And you can do that actually with a lot of things like silicone, or a lot of stuff will embed frequencies into it, which I won't get into today. But I want to show you this frequency plate because it's pretty cool, and it can embed water just like your body has water. So we want to get this sound, beep, these frequencies into your body without making us go deaf because of the sound. The more frequencies we get, the higher frequencies, the stronger our bodies will become. So let me show you some videos here and show you more about this. Let's go to, here we go. Okay, here we go. So here's a frequency plate, and look at that shape it's making. That's 432 hertz, that's a healing frequency, and it's making the Star of David. A structure, a shape. Not incoherent, coherent energy. I'm going to exit that, and I'll show you another video here. Here is 25 hertz. And you're seeing structure in water. All right. Now, let's build on this. And we want to go into, sorry, I get so amazed at these videos that I'm even like, wow, look at that. Okay, vortex. So we're talking about vortex energy because, like I said, off of this pyramid comes a vortex. So let's learn a little bit about how vortexes, like a magnet, helps benefit these frequencies. Let's watch a video.
So how does vortexing water work in your body? Well, if you are stagnant in the water in your body, that water is dead. So let's say you want to vortex and create energy into your body because you are made mostly of water. What do? Well, look at this. See how that's not really going down? But if you vortex it, see that vortex? I'll show you it again. That vortex energy is going to help move and make that water alive. So the Rodin coil that we have, and I've posted videos, does a magnetic vortex, and it's EMF, electromagnetic. So if you put...
Okay, so let's get back to, let me explain it here rather than there. There's another way to do it. These are like marbles, and this is a device that you can run water over and it will S-wave. So before I explain what that vortex is, like the marbles that have water go over it, let's just watch it here on this video that I made. And go back.
So I wanted to show you guys more about vortex structured water. Right here in my hand is a little device that has little marbles in it. And when you pour the water through this, there's zinc and magnesium, little balls in there. And what happens is the vortex of the marbles has water S-wave over those marbles as it goes down, much like this, as I showed you before. And we have, there it goes, there we go, a little vortex right there. Well, that is what's going on in this. So basically, you're taking that and you're putting water through it just like this. And come back here. And as it runs over those balls, you're getting structured water. People do marbles, but this basically has to do with
silver and zinc. This is very important. Let me get back here. This is very important. When water goes over things, it takes on the frequencies and it takes on the memory of it. Now I want to show you this. This is going to blow your mind. If you take, let's go back to my pictures here. There was a doctor by the name of Dr. Emoto, and here we go. Let's see his research. Make sure you guys can see that on the screen. Not yet. Oh, there we go. Okay. So Dr. Emoto came up with, well, you know what, let me back up first and interject. Frequency, well, no, I'm going to stay on track because I don't want to confuse you. So here we have unstructured and structured water, before and after. And this doctor, Dr. Emoto, would take water and he would do experiments and flash freeze it in ice, and he would look at the structure of the water. And you can do this online. You can find this online. Just put in Dr. Emoto, and let's go to his experiments. Here. He would say things like compassion or thank you or wisdom. And he would flash freeze the water, and it would form structured or sacred geometry, which is like fractal energy. And or he would put heavy metal, I will kill you, you fool, and you can see it here. And it would unstructure the water. And we're talking about like the fountain of youth here, the fountain of life with the water. Again, it's not the food, it's the water. And so here's another experiment he did. If you take these jars and put love, nothing, and hate on them, they will, and this is cooked rice, okay? So there's water in these rice jars. Love would ferment, and nothing and hate would mold. Because of, they found out, and this is Dr. Emoto and people found out, is that water has memory. Water has memory. So when they just put love, he didn't speak love, just wrote love on that jar, the water saw it. The water saw that frequency. So I'm going to explain this. This takes a good amount of conversation here because this is mind-blowing. Is that because water has memory, how do you erase the water? The memory of the water? Well, you have to distill it into a distiller. I have a distiller, not reverse op. You don't put it through filters because the water still memorizes the filters. What you do is you get a distiller and you evaporate the water into the air, and it erases like a chalkboard. It erases, take the eraser, erase the memory. And then with a distiller, like it takes 8 hours for water, like sink water, you put sink water in this distiller and it will evaporate the water, and drip by drip for 8 hours will put water into a carafe. It's just like rain. But rain can go through acid in the or smog in the air and actually take on the smog. So if you made your own structured water, you could run that distilled water over rocks, right? Marbles. So heaven is made of, they say, gold streets, pearl gates. The foundations in the book of Revelations talks about jasper, sapphire, chalcedony, emerald, sardius, sardonyx, chrysolite, topaz, chrysoprasus, jacinth, amethyst, semi-precious stones. Not even precious stones. Even when you run water over semi-precious, zinc, magnesium, it takes on the frequencies of those, it memorizes those frequencies. And that's how in springs, the water goes up a spring, whether it's, in Lake Arrowhead or it's in the Swiss Alps. It goes up different minerals, and it's taking on the memory of those minerals or semi-precious stones. But now, if there's a piece of dog turd at the top of the spring, the water doesn't even need to get in touch with that. It just has to know or see that it's there, and the water will become impure. And so here's what goes even deeper. There was somebody online, when I looked up distilled water, he showed he had a carafe of distilled water, 2 carafes. And one, he comes in to the audience and he just washes his hands in one of the distilled water carafes. And he asked the audience, who wants to drink this water? And the whole audience was like, no, you just wash your hands in it. But he takes the other carafe and he takes like basically dirty water. You can see it's brown, and he pours it into this distilled water carafe, dirtying it up, and then takes city water chemicals and dumps it into that carafe, and all of those, the dark, sooty, murky distilled water that had just been dumped in it, dirt, all went clear again. And he goes, who in here wants to drink that water? And everybody was like, no way. And he said, well, this is what city tap water is. And see, we don't, that's big. And then what happens is, this is even a worse story than that, is that let's say Bobby, Susie, Joe, whatever, these people that all throughout Los Angeles, I live in Los Angeles, so I'm using it, and their parents tell them, you're good for nothing, and somebody else tells them you're a loser. and you're never going to do anything in life, and I hope you die, things like that. And they go pee out the water that's in them after that was spoken to them, and it goes to the plant in Los Angeles that just has filters and some, chemicals, and they just made a law in LA that they can actually use gray water to ship back into your house, and you bathe in that water every morning. It doesn't matter how many times you pray a day. Like the Bible talks about praying over your water, your food and your drink. Every day you should be praying into your water, because what's coming out of it all the way through that system is millions of people's frequencies. And people are bathing in that, and that's why they're getting sick. It's the water, not necessarily the food, and it's the frequencies in the air. Now, that's a big story. It took me a while to tell you that, but this goes even deeper. So I did want to just go back to the whole tone thing, and I'll show you here. It's even in here, like I said, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, A, B, C, D, E, F, G in the piano scale. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. When you go to do, back to do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Those frequencies, those waves are a vortex. So frequencies itself have a vortex. They go thicker to thinner to thinner to thinner to thinner. And in the band of frequencies from hertz to terahertz, and all these frequencies get into like Bluetooth or radio frequencies that go really small, from violet to ultraviolet, from red to the term would be infrared. The waves get smaller and smaller and smaller. I just wanted to show you that because I may forget to tell you that. I'm recording here, so you're seeing a weird screen. But let me get back to this. Okay, so tri-field tester. What is that? That's showing you the radio frequencies, RF. 0.02 is a good radio frequency. But if you take, it means like there's not a lot of frequencies. It's healthy for the body. But if you take your phone and you go to Facebook, here's my Facebook, and you bring this by it, it taps it out. Bring my phone way over here. Sorry, I'm trying to get this to work. Back. Trying to get it so you can see it. Away. Back. Away. Even if you swipe, every time you swipe, it taps it out. I'm swiping, I'm taking it away. I'm bringing it back. This is bringing electromagnetic radiation into people's body, which is way hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times more than people can handle. I'm going to show you a video on this. So sit back and enjoy this video here. So this is me going up to the top of Beverly Hills, where there's multi-million dollar houses, okay? See if I can find it, because I did this video right before there we go. There it is. Okay. See, let me tap on this screen, and then we will watch this video here. Sorry, excuse me for the...
And see, you'll see these hot spots, and people live by these hot spots. Hot spot 10. That's about 200 times the amount of radiation your body should have. Hot spot. This guy right here, that house, is living right here, total maxed out. It's totally maxed out. And he's living right there, just being bombarded by, it'd be like living by a microwave oven turned on. Full blast. And this is not just a little microwave oven, this is filling your entire house like a microwave oven.
All right, so let's get back here. Sorry, guys. So a tri-field tester, it checks whether cell towers or in your home, like we talked with the voltmeter, you know, the magnetism that's in your speakers or things that are around your bed, especially if you just have a two-pronged electronic in your house that does not have a ground, the third plug, that thing is just releasing magnetism into your house that's dirty because it doesn't have a ground to take the dirty electricity out of your house. I want to talk about, we were talking about water and memory and how to, so you can S-wave and get water, distilled water, and put it over, I have semi-precious stones in my crock pot, jasper, sapphire, chalcedony, emerald, sardius, so on and so forth, and it can take on the frequencies of those stones, but you can also shoot frequencies into your water that are frequencies of silver, frequencies of gold, frequencies of quartz, frequencies. They found, you know, everything has a frequency. You know, there's a nucleus, a proton, and an electron, and in the middle is all of this scalar energy of God. And if you shoot into you healthy energy, then it's taking on the structure of that. So I get off on a tangent. Oh yeah. So I wanted to show you, there was a gentleman back in the 20s and 30s by the name of Lord Rife, and he made an electron microscope. Well, it's a universal microscope. That's him with his microscope. And he would shoot frequencies into different things like, I mean, we know that glass, if you shoot a certain frequency into glass will explode. And he would shoot frequencies into things like parasites, and he could kill parasites by shooting a destructive frequency, not a constructive. There's coherent and non-coherent. There is in music they call it a cognizant or a non-cognizant. I think that's what they call it. I forget. Even though I make music, dissonant. Dissonant energy can actually sound, if your guitar's out of tune, just one, you know, is dissonant, a bagpipe. So anyways, he would shoot dissonant energy into these parasites and he would destroy them. So he started to measure and make a list. This is called the Rife's Handbook, and he would make frequencies. Sorry, here we go. So you can zoom in here and you'll see at the top, let me go, frequencies and ailments. And he would, you know, for the rest of his life, make, you know, a list of frequencies for certain ailments. And he found there's frequencies for, you know, gold and silver. He wrote them in. I mean, that book is $500. You can see his list. It's available online under Spooky 2. They have their own Rife frequencies. People have taken on his work and found out frequencies for other things, but everything has a frequency. Your tissues have a frequency. Your blood has a frequency. Your teeth have a frequency. Everything has a frequency. Gold, silver, minerals, parasites. And so this is what we're talking about here to structure water with, okay? So we want to structure it with good things. So from here, we can talk about the Rodin coil. So a Rodin coil, like I said, with this is like an analog guitar, just like without any electricity to it. And then this is like a electronic guitar. Excuse me, a electric guitar. What I'm talking right now is on like a digital guitar. We can actually use the computer to shoot out frequencies, tens of thousands of frequencies into your body. But let's just talk about the Rodin coil right now. And let me show you a video on that. Let's go here. Let's go into a bigger screen here. Excuse me, guys. see that vortex right there it's making? This is a vortex device, okay? Shoots electromagnetic frequencies. And if you take this while it's on and put a tri-field tester into it, you can go all the way around yourself and you can tell the frequencies that this is shooting out. You say, well, how do you know that it's shooting out frequencies? I'm glad you asked, because I have another video showing, I built that Rodin coil, so I know what I'm talking about here. So this is just a bowl. If you place this bowl on top of this Rodin coil, frequencies will shoot out of it. So you can hear that. Matter of fact, after this video, I'll tell you more, but here we go, another video. 2 minutes in, and I'm gonna click this video. Now here's a sound bowl. This is just, let me pause it, make sure that you guys are seeing this, because I hit my hotkey for you guys to hear this, but I just wanna make sure you guys are seeing my screen. Okay, you guys are. Listening to, you can do sound baths and stuff with it. And we'll wait till this commercial is over, and then we'll see what this thing can do. All right, so let me hold this, because this doesn't balance. You can do this with a smaller bowl. You hear that? Hold on, music video hasn't really started. Fast forward. So that's playing from the Rodin coil. It's showing you the frequencies that are shooting through it. This is vortex energy, and if you were to get in there, you could actually hear it coming from the ball in your hand. And I could show that through different frequencies. I think this isn't too big of a video already to show that. But yeah, that's really put this on you. And there's things like different healing frequencies. These are all huge amount of programs that you can shoot. Solfeggio frequencies and Schumann resonance and things for your back and for your muscles and whatever ailments you have, and it really does work. So that's really what it's about. Here I'm at my gym, my facility, if you want to come and do therapy here. Okay, so back here. I'm trying to get my actual pad to connect because I can show you. So this is a magnet. And what it is doing, let me disconnect my pad. So this pad that I showed you has a lot of frequencies, okay? All of Rife's frequencies and then some into this. And we're gonna take this Rodin coil here. And once we connect, I will show you how it works. Plus in the dark, it goes glow in the dark because I put some glow in the dark pigment in it. I'm trying to get this to connect, but basically if it doesn't connect, I'll tell you what it does. When you have this magnetic ball, because there's a scalar energy that comes out of this, let me just see if I can just go back to here. And I'm gonna have to use my other coil. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna use my other coil because I have two of these running. Here's my other coil, and we're gonna go to a tone, beep, and this is on 40 hertz. Let's see if I can turn this up here. Yeah, here we go. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm gonna crank it so you guys can. You see how it's vibrating? There's frequencies shooting through this coil, and that's going into my body. I put that close to me and it's structuring the water in my body. And there's many different frequencies. There's a lot that you can do with that. Now, the last thing I want to share, let me go through my videos and just make sure I shared everything here. I don't want to leave any stone unturned here. Go to the videos there, it's fine. We're good on that. Yep, what's this one? That one. Yeah. So I think I kind of got through a lot of this stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things that obviously we could talk about, the light spectrum and stuff like that. And as we finish here, I want to talk about what we're doing now. Is this headphone you put on doesn't have music going through it. It has, you can see these lights, and they shoot out photons from one ear to the other, kind of like a body fat tester. If you ever had a body fat tester, and it sends a signal from one hand to the next hand of one tone, a light tone that can read the amount of water that you have in your body, in your fat, and it can tell you how much muscle you have. This thing will shoot tens of thousands of frequencies through you and test all, your skin and your hair and your, it reads bioreceptors, the receptors of your skin, the receptors of your kidneys and your blood and your DNA. This goes in and it reads out an algorithm of thousands and thousands and thousands of frequencies and tells you what your frequency is and what a healthy Rife frequency is, and then flips it upside down, the north and the south pole of the whirlpool, which makes up your entire, some people call it aura, chi, prana, but your entire biofield, and corrects things. And it's mind-blowing. I'm using the computer that I would normally scan people, and this is a PC/Mac computer. I'm on my Mac part of my computer, so I can do these kind of videos. But on the PC side, I have my software, and it runs, unplug this, through my, I'll turn it on. This is my breakout box. It's an interface. It interfaces an algorithm of tens of thousands of frequencies, and it measures everything in your body, and then you can provide meta-therapies for them, and light therapies, and or it has a, just like we had the plate for water, it has a water plate that will shoot your prescription, your to-go therapies for the week in here, and it will charge your water, and you can drink it all week. That is the stuff we do, and this is where all of this comes from, is basically I'll come back up to where we started, is this Nikola Tesla therapy. And I hope you guys got a lot out of this. There's a lot of information, and if I miss something, I'll keep making these videos, maybe over and over and over. Maybe we'll get better clarity, better, whatever, audio, who knows? But there's so many questions and points that you could talk about over this that if I missed anything, I hope, you guys have questions, and you guys come into the studio and I can actually do the software Rife therapy. It's a lot of different names to this, but it's allowing your body to signal to turn on and to begin to heal itself. So that's all I have, and thank you for being a part of it. See you soon.